Hey guys, today we're gonna work on a little hip mobility. Really gonna help you get deeper into your squat, just a better, more comfortable position and having more strength through the entire range of motion. So make sure that you do the CARS routine first before you jump into what we're about to do. This is the PAILS and RAILS routine for the hips. We're gonna do it in the 90-90 position. So you wanna set your front foot up and knee in 90 degrees. So I got 90 degrees in the foot, 90 degrees in the knee, and then I'm same thing in the back. So I'm gonna be 90 and 90, all right? We wanna turn our hips, so our hips are pointed straight towards the knee, all right, and get nice and tall. If you can, if you have the mobility, then go ahead and pick that hand up. If you don't, like me, then I'm gonna have just my hand set down, but I'm still gonna be nice and tall through the chest, and I'm gonna get that belly button pointed towards my knee. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna pull our belly button towards the knee, so you're gonna feel a big stretch in that hip. You feel that? And then we're gonna hold this position for 2 minutes, all right? So we're not leaning forward, but we're staying nice and tall and just tilting the hips towards the knee, pulling that belly button right towards the knee. So you should feel a really good stretch in the hip, but we're not gonna lean forward here. We want that stretch. We wanna really stretch the glute here. So that's what we're working. Recheck, make sure that you're at 90 here, 90 here, and we're gonna hold this stretch for 2 minutes, all right? So after the 2 minutes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create an isometric contraction all through the body. So tightening every single muscle in our body, all right? And then we're gonna push down on the knee and the ankle equally down into the ground as hard as we can. Now we've done this in the past, and so we did only about 10 seconds. We're gonna add another 5 seconds and do 15 seconds, all right? And then after 15 seconds, we're gonna keep that tension high, and then we're gonna lift the leg up as high as we can and just really try to lift it up. And then we will have a new range of motion, and then we'll get down into that range of motion, and then we're gonna hold that stretch for 2 minutes, all right? And then we'll do that on the other side. So we're about a minute in here, so just make sure you're keeping that good stretch. Keep pulling that belly button towards the knee, and we're just holding this stretch here, all right? Hang out, make sure you're breathing, don't hold your breath, and just enjoy the view around me. It's gorgeous afternoon. Kind of getting into the evening here out at Ruby Hill. My favorite place to train, watch the sunset, water my garden. Been eating strawberries out of my garden a couple days this week. It's been pretty amazing. So we got about 30 more seconds holding that stretch. Again, we're gonna create tension through the body, push down on the knee and ankle, down into the ground as hard as we can for 15 seconds. And then we're gonna lift up for 15 seconds. And then we should be able to go into a deeper stretch, all right? So let's ramp that tension up all through the body, and then we're gonna press down as hard as we can. Breathe. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift as high as we can. Lift, 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 lift. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then ease back into that stretch, and you should feel, you see I could even get a little bit further forward. I'm still just pulling that belly button to my knee, but I'm in a much better position here, a little deeper in that stretch. This is really gonna strengthen those glutes and help us when we're trying to get out of that squat in that bottom position. The stronger we are at this end range, the easier it is gonna be to get out of that squat. So we're just gonna hold this again for another 2 minutes. I know it seems like a long time, but it takes 2 minutes for soft tissue to change. So we gotta be patient with this and let it do its thing. Hopefully I can talk enough to make you forget about how long the stretch is. But anyway, you know, that's the one thing I miss about the live workouts is being able to talk to everybody, but you know, this is pretty awesome too, so The nice thing about this, I'm not stuck to doing it at one specific time of the day. I can come, like right now it's 6:30 in the evening, because that was the best time for me today as we get back into our regular routine of things. So make sure you're breathing. Nice little belly breathe. Keeping that nice deep stretch. If you didn't guess, I don't have a timer, so I'm just going with the internal clock, which is pretty good, plus or minus, let's say 15 seconds. Let's go for 10 more seconds here. And slowly come out of that. We should be pretty, you're gonna feel it, maybe a little stiff. Go ahead and shake it out. All right, and then we're gonna switch sides here. Go into that 90-90. Make sure we're 90 in front, 90 in back. Really get that belly button pointed right towards the knee. All right. And then pull, and then we're gonna hold this for 2 minutes. Nice little stretch there. Ease into it. We always have one side that's a little tighter than the other. It's just the way it is. And this is definitely my side. I always seem to start on my side that's looser. But the more we work at it, the more even it gets. But we're always gonna have a stronger side, a side that we favor. Jumping, running, kind of initiating most movements on one side compared to the other. So it's a great practice to help even things out. So, you guys like my shirt? I love it. Strong is happy. This definitely is a great practice to keep you strong. Make sure you're breathing. My good friend and fellow SFG, Annalisa, she lives in San Francisco. She's a team leader. She was my team leader at the last certification that I was an assistant instructor at, and she gave me this shirt. It was so sweet. I couldn't believe it. I actually had an older couple today comment on it and asked me if I had any more of these shirts, because they wanted to buy 2 for their daughters, which I thought was really cool. All right, you guys, we're getting close to 2 minutes here, maybe another 15 seconds or so. Again, I apologize I don't have a timer, but you know, I wanted to do this anyway, so just getting it in. You can stretch more than 2 minutes. It's not going to kill you. Just like 2 minutes is kind of the bare minimum. So if we go over a little bit, it's not going to kill us. All right, so again, let's ramp up that tension. And then we're going to press down into the ground, our knee and ankle as hard as we can. Ready? And press. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's get deeper into that stretch. Oh yeah, it feels a lot better. Nice deeper stretch for me. Hopefully it is for you too. We'll hang out here for another 2 minutes, and then we're gonna work on the internal rotation of the hip. So right now, this is the external rotation. We're gonna also work on the internal rotation. The internal rotation is really important for your squat depth. Once you get down past parallel, your femur actually internally rotates at the hip. So in order to get a deeper depth, we need strength in the hip and internal rotation. So that one is actually almost more important than this one. We're pretty strong in the external rotation for the most part, but internal rotation is always the one that people tend to have a little, it's a little struggle with, trying to get into that deeper squat. The deeper your squat, the more glute and hamstring activation you can get. Otherwise, it's mostly quad. So if you can get down to parallel or below, that's ideal. And just breathe. Lots of people out at the park today. It's kind of awesome to see so many people taking to outdoor exercise, biking, hiking in the park. See a lot of people running the hills. There's some kids doing archery over there. There's a bike park up there with all kinds of jumps. This park is amazing. I'm here. I try to be here every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. to work out. If anybody wants to ever join me, I'd be more than happy to have you. All right, you guys, maybe another 15 seconds or so. Hopefully my internal clock is pretty close. But it's feeling about good, close to a good 2 minutes, so. And slowly ease out of that. In between this one, I want you to do some squats and just notice how your hips are feeling, and then we'll squat again after the internal rotations and see how it feels. So. All right, so not bad on the squats there for me. After a couple, I started feeling really loose. But let's work that internal rotation now and see if we can't get a little bit better depth, all right? So this time we're gonna hold this stretch. We're actually gonna go back here. So we're trying to turn our shoulders towards the back knee. So we're still 90-90 here. But the idea is that we're trying to get as much rotation here in the hip, all right? So that's gonna help to internally rotate that hip. So we're gonna turn the whole body here. This can be a little bit uncomfortable, holding this position for 2 minutes, and I get it. If you feel any pain, any kind of numbness, especially, then just get out of the stretch for a second, shake it out, and then try to ease back in. But if it continues to pinch a nerve, if you feel numbness, then maybe this isn't the best one for you. So make sure you listen to your body and don't do too much. If you cramp up, just get out of it, shake it out. That's okay. On this one, when we do our PAILS and RAILS, when we push down and we lift up, I'm gonna have to put my hand down. You might have to too. If you don't have to, if you can't, or you can lift your leg without putting your hand down, then do so. But we're gonna push down on the knee and ankle, just like we did in the other side, just pushing down into the ground, and then we're gonna lift up. And so when I push down, I don't need assistance, but when I lift up, I need to put my hand back and just give myself a little room to get a little bit of lift off, but not much. So just do whatever you need to do. Make sure you're holding that good stretch here, about halfway there. So again, when we do this, remember we're gonna ramp our tension up. Ramping up the tension is one of the most important parts. So that means tightening every single muscle in your body, and it takes practice. The more you practice, the better you get. But that is the key, is creating that massive tension through the body. We're creating an isometric contraction, and that's going to create strength in this end range. And then that's what's going to give us more range of motion, is once we're stronger through that range. Okay? So we got about maybe 10 more seconds here in this stretch. And then we're going to start to ramp our tension up. Ready? And ramp it up. And push down as hard as you can. Breathe. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back into that stretch. Whew, yeah, getting a little deeper here. There we go. Just enjoy this. I know it's not the most comfortable. But again, this really is one of the most important. And so really important that we do this, and not just the internal rotation. The internal rotation is good. It's easier, but the external rotation, but the internal rotation is the one that's going to get us that deeper depth and more glute and hammy activation. So super important. Man, I'm kind of enjoying these kids over here. They're shooting archery and doing burpees. It's kind of cool. So like, I guess you know, under duress, if you can shoot an arrow straight, then that's a good thing. Yeah, baby. Let it work. I know we're about halfway there. Probably want to come out of it, but let's hang out. I thought maybe it was a little dangerous that they're shooting arrows over there, but they're just hitting the target every time, so I guess it doesn't matter. Hanging out for about, let's go 15 more seconds here. You can tell me in the comments how well I did on the timing. All right, you guys, we're gonna slowly come out of that. Woo. We'll stand up, shake it out, do a couple squats, see how you feel. All right, last one here. We're gonna go to this back leg. Again, we're gonna rotate and hold this stretch. Try to let that hip sink as much as you can. We're internally rotating the femur here, so we can get that nice deep depth. Hang out here for 2 minutes. How we doing? All right. Don't forget to breathe. the background noise. I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe someday I'll go out in the country where there's no noise, just some cows, and record some videos out there. We'll see. I feel good in this hip. This knee is the one that I tore my MCL a few years ago, and so I can feel that. So again, listen to your body. If things are really hurting, don't fight through pain, right? So there's kind of discomfort because I'm in this awkward position and stretching. That's okay. You can feel discomfort, but don't try to fight through any kind of shooting pain. So that's really important. And then again, if anything goes numb, make sure you just come out of it. You can come out of it, shake it out, and go back in. And as long as the numbness doesn't come back, you're fine. But if it persists, then probably not the best position for you. So, and there's some other things that you can work on, like end range holds and things like that, which we do in some of the other, like the cars video and different things like that. So how are we doing? About 30 seconds maybe? 30 more seconds? I think so. Like I said, if we go a little long, it's okay. If you're watching the clock and it's 2 minutes and you want to go, then be my guest. So again, we're going to ramp up our tension. We're going to push down on the knee and ankle as hard as we can down into the ground, and then we're going to lift up both for 15 seconds. Let's start to ramp that tension up and press down into the ground as hard as you can. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Keep that tension high. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and fall back into that stretch. Oh yeah. I should be able to squat ass to grass after this. No, I'm just kidding. I've been doing this for a long time and I still can't, and that's okay. Not everybody can, and it's not completely necessary either, so don't feel like that's the object here. But like I said, we do want to get down to parallel or just below parallel. And again, we're creating strength through this in this end range, and so that's just going to help us get out of the squat and the bottom and make us a lot stronger. That's usually the hardest thing to do, is when you get down in the squat, we're afraid that we can't get out, and so we don't go as deep. But when you're strong at the end range, you're going to feel more confident. Your body, your brain, everything is going to let you go into a deeper squat and get out of it. And so throughout our program, our strength training program, we're getting heavier weights, we're getting more reps. We need the strength in this end range to get the gains that we need to get. So this is a great practice. Make sure you breathe here. Let's go about 10 more seconds. and slowly come out. Oh yeah. Woo. All right. And get some squats. About 5 squats. Man, I don't know, you guys. I have to check the video later, but I definitely felt like I was easily getting into a deeper depth in that squat. So I think that was well worth it. I hope you did too. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.